This lineup just looks absolutely lost without Bryce Harper. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies at Soup Media. To recap last night's game between the Phillies and the Texas Rangers, as the Phillies lose 7-0 to the Rangers as they dropped the first game of this two-game series, as they look not to get swept out today at 4:05. Now, guys, before getting into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So we get shut out last night, the first game of the series, the two-game series, am I right? So, I mean, hopefully we don't get swept out today like we did at Citizens Bank Park against the squad in May. So just what a pitiful performance we saw of this Phillies team. And honestly, we just look so lost without Bryce Harper. We really, really do. And the hope was to have him back, but yeah, last night. The hope is he's going to be back today. Well, you know, my response to that was I thought he was going to be back on Tuesday. That is what I thought. Of course, we did not see him last night at all. And partly I understand. I think maybe if it was a close game, we maybe would have seen him come in, later in the ball game. But I think in Rob Thompson's eyes, it was not worth bringing him in because we were just getting absolutely pounded. So we lose 7-0. Rob Thompson brings in Jeurys Familia. I mean, what an absolute disaster. I mean, 4 earned. I mean, a 5.55 ERA. And guess who signed this guy? Mr. Dave Dombrowski for $6 million. You go take a look at Brad Hand and Jeurys Familia. I mean, they both got paid the exact same, money in years. I mean, 1 year, $6 billion, and one has, been worth every single last penny, and one has been an absolute disaster. So Jeurys Familia continues to be absolutely awful. I mean, Kyle Gibson kept us in the ball game. He really, really did. And honestly, I wasn't blown away by his start, but 6 1/3 with 3 earned. I mean, that kept us in the ball game, allowed the offense. I mean, that was a Kyle Gibson start, and we gave him no run support. We gave him absolutely no run support. So I am very, very ticked off of the performance we saw last night. So we get the scoring summary here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nathan Lowe homers on a line drive to left center field, his 9th of the season, and the Rangers now take a 1-0 lead. There wasn't a lot of scoring in this ball game early, right? And there certainly was later in the ball game, but it was all Texas from here on out. Of course, the Phillies, I don't know what to get shut up in this Rangers team. I mean, I understand they're no slouch. You weren't even able to get a win against them in Philadelphia. And honestly, I'm not really feeling too good going into the 4:05 game this afternoon. Then we pick it up here in the same inning. They go back-to-back as Jonah Helm homers on a flying ball to right center field. His 9th of the season, 2-0 Texas. So they now have a nice 2-0 lead. You're starting to gain momentum here. You kind of started to go a little bit worried here. They were starting to gain momentum. Another home run off of Kyle Gibson. Then we pick it up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. New acquisition during the offseason, Corey Seager, who's just totally overpaid. We talked about it before. Got paid for 10 years. $320 million. Not worth it. Totally not worth it. The Dodgers were very smart to stay away. This is a guy that did have TJ in 2018 as a position player, of course, which does happen when, of course, Rhys Hoskins had it. This guy, totally overrated. Totally overrated. I think the Dodgers offered him, something close to 10 years, $280, and he said no. He singles on a ground ball the other way to left field, and Marcus Semien comes around to score, and the Rangers now take a 3-0 lead. He finally does something there. Honestly, he's just had a mediocre year. As I just talked about, not worth that contract. Let me pick it up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Marcus Semien, a guy who's definitely had a struggled season. Had an awesome season last year with the Blue Jays. He homers on a fly ball to left center field. Leo Travis comes around to score, and the Rangers now take a 5-0 lead. This was just not fun to watch. Really just not fun to watch. We're doing nothing at the plate. We're getting absolutely shelled out on the mound. This was just not an eventful game. Not at all. And then we pick it up here in the same inning. Cole Calhoun, the former Los Angeles Angel and Arizona Diamondback, homers on a flying ball to center field. A 2-run shot also scored Jonas Garcia. And it's now 7-0 Texas. Now make it a commanding 7-run lead as Jeurys Familia surrenders 2 2-run home runs. This guy really is just an absolute joke, as I did mention a little bit before. The $6 million for this. What a disaster signing this was. You could chalk it up as another disaster signing by our wonderful president of baseball operations, Dave Gombrowski, right? I mean, what an absolute joke he has been. A lot of these signings have not worked out. As that'd be the final 7-0 Rangers. And as they take the first game of this quick 2-game series, Kyle Schwarber outled the wheels back, collects 1 knock. He's had a better year than Nick Castellanos for sure. I mean, at least this guy can consistently get on base, a 25-game on base streak. 25 straight games Kyle Schwarber has reached base successfully. Nice bunt single up the third base line going against the shift, a .213 average for Schwarbs. But he manages to have an .821 OPS. 18 home runs, 37 RBI. He consistently has gone on base this year. I mean, that is one thing about him. I do wish he hit for a higher average. 13 is certainly disappointing. I like to see him hit for a little bit higher average, but at least he's getting on base consistently. Speaking of getting on base, Rhys Hoskins, who went hitless last night, but he was able to draw 3 walks. I mean, that's how you do it right there. 3 walks last night for Rhys Hoskins, 251 average. Of course, he has simmered down a little bit, an 811 OPS. Hopefully his average can stay right around there. But Nick Castellanos, another hitless performance last night, 249 average now, and OPS at 703. So the numbers don't lie. I've talked about it pretty much all year. I mean, Kyle Schwarber sits in the 821 OPS. You got Nick Castellanos, who is a 703 OPS. So Schwarber's is over 100 points higher than Nick Castellanos. He has been so much more consistent than Nick Castellanos has been. Incredibly disappointing. I mean, Nick Castellanos only 7 tanks, and he has ranked up the RBIs in his defense. The RBI total sits at 36, right around Schwarber's, right just a little less than Schwarber's, right around the same. But he needs to start the ball at the ballpark more. What's going on? Yesterday was the first official day of summer, we really, really need this guy to start getting going. I've been very disappointed. JT Realmuto gets the start out of the cleanup spot, collects 2 knocks. He works his average up to 244. JT definitely had a solid night last night, and Didi Gregorius is starting to settle back down to earth, and he's starting to do Didi Gregorius type things as he goes hitless last night. He's definitely starting to cool off, and Alec Bohm gets a start out of the DH spot as he gets the night off in the field, he collects 2 knocks last night. Certainly a decent night last night for him. Collected only 6 hits. Very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Alec Bohm, definitely starting to play a little better baseball. 256 average now. I mean, he has a 645 OPS. So that's the thing. That's the thing about Alec Bohm. It's been no secret. He hits singles to right field. He doesn't walk. Of course, he just doesn't rank up the extra base hits. Only 9 doubles. 4 home runs. And I don't really care as much about the home runs, but just start hitting some extra base hits, start hitting the ball to left field a little bit more. He just hit singles to right field to give you bad defense. I understand his defense, as of late has been very good. 25 RBIs for Bohm, and he only has 3 less homers than Nick Castellanos. Definitely very telling there. Matt Vierling goes hitless out in center, so we definitely need more production out there. I understand that Matt Vierling, over the past couple weeks has been better than he was. I think we all know that. The 2 home runs in the second game doubleheader in D.C. last Friday. He's definitely been playing a little better. And Johan Camargo got reinstated off of the IL at the start at third last night. And, I was listening to the radio, and they said he just didn't look comfortable in that 1 strikeout that he had. Of course, he struck out twice last night, and I believe that was his first AB. He didn't look comfortable up at the plate. You don't know if he's still battling something, but he was resonated off of the IL, and Yanyo Munoz gets a start at second and collects another knock. He continues to be, somewhat productive. Over at second base. And you can take a look at Kyle Gibson's start, talked about it a little bit before. 6 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, all 3 were earned, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 4. A 4.5 ERA for Kyle Gibson. So he goes against his former squad, and he gets absolutely no run support. I mean, he gave us a solid Kyle Gibson, keep you in the game start. That is what he gave us last night. And what did we do? We gave him nothing. So I'm very, very annoyed about this offense. I'm very, very annoyed about this offense. As I just kind of expressed over the past couple of minutes. We just continue to go through these extreme up and down, up and down, up and down. Even that game we won on Saturday in D.C., that 2-1 offense has not been good the past 3 games. It really just hasn't. And honestly, we almost lost on Saturday night. or Saturday afternoon, I guess you could say, at Nationals Park. So this offense needs to wake up. I mean, it seems like when the name Bryce Harper is not written in this lineup card, there's a huge void. I mean, of course, there's going to be, but this lineup was built to have depth, right? I mean, have depth. But we need other guys to step up, and we were seeing that for a little while. We really were with Matt Vierling. I mean, Rhys Hoskins was red hot, and of course, you can't expect him to stay on that, that pace forever. Of course, he's got to simmer down a little bit. I mean, as he has. But this is when guys like Nick Castellanos need to step up. This is when guys understand, he still, has that 25-game on base streak. I mean, of course, he hasn't hit the ball at the ballpark since last Thursday. This is when a guy like Kyle Schwarber needs to hit the ball at the ballpark. We need a jolt. Very badly. So this is when we need other guys to step up. So of course, going back, Kyle Gibson smacked with a loss now, 4-3 on the year. But he gave us a Kyle Gibson type start. I mean, decent, very decent. Stuff looked pretty good. Of course, in those 2 home runs, definitely mistakes there. And Jerry's Familia inning in the third, 4 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. I mean, I already talked about it a little bit before, but just to go back to it, I'm going to keep emphasizing it because it's so important. 1 year, $6 million. 1 year, $6 million for this guy. I said it was a mistake from the very beginning. The night they signed him, I said, this is a huge mistake. Well, it didn't take a genius to realize this contract was an absolute mistake. I mean, my goodness gracious, what in the world was Dave Dombrowski thinking, giving him $6 million for just 1 year? I mean, and the thing that's very interesting, Jack Peterson, yes, I understand, yes, he may have taken a discount to this to go back home to San Francisco. I mean, look at the year he's having for the Giants, 1 year, $6 million. I mean, this was just an absolute steal for Jerry's Familia. So we really got the shaft in this contract. What a disaster he's been. I don't really think you really need to even talk much about this line. I think it pretty much speaks for itself. He allows 2 two-run home runs. So what a absolute joke. So it's not 2015, 2016 anymore. When his stuff is really dominant and working. It's not working anymore. Now, occasionally, he will go back to his old self and will look, pretty good. But that's pretty rare. And Jose Alvarado, just a third of an inning last night. I mean, not enough time for him to do the damage to Jerry's Familia do. He would have if he would have seen more time out there, am I right? So it's another pitiful loss for this Phillies team. It's a not very good team. Of course, the Rangers are 3 under 500. So they now sit at 32 and 35 and going in. Of course, they were 4 under 500. So 4-5 this afternoon. Of course, we're going to get good starting pitching this afternoon with the ace, Mr. Zach Wheeler on the mound, 6-3 with a 2.69 ERA. But I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about our offense. Hopefully, Hart's back out there today. And Gray on the mound for Texas, 2-3 with a 4.27 ERA. So score, runs, score, runs, score, runs, score, runs. I mean, this is just sad. We get shut out again. And I tell you, this ain't going to fly with the San Diego Padres for 4. We cannot forget that. I mean, San Diego Padres for 4 games. This is not going to be an easy 4 games. If you go take a look at some of the NL East divisional updates, the Miami Marlins defeat the Colorado Rockies by a final score of 9-8 down there in Miami Beach. So the Marlins, it was a slugfest down there between those 2 teams. And the Nationals, after beating us on Sunday, come back out at Camden Yards and take down the Orioles 3-0. So another win for Washington, and the Braves lose in a slugfest to the Giants, 12-10. The Astros defeat the Mets by a final score of 8-2. So it's going to be very interesting, right? I mean, the Mets are going against a legit opponent here. I'm not trying to say it as a taunt. I'm just saying it's very interesting. And of course, the Phillies are starting to settle back down to earth a little bit. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they do against the San Diego Padres. We were beating the Washington Nationals. We were beating the Arizona Diamondbacks. We were beating the LA Angels. We did sweep the Milwaukee Brewers, and that was certainly impressive. But they certainly have not been playing the best of baseball. I understand you're always going to have a bad night, but this offense looks asleep. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media, the link in the description section at Phillies Attitude Media, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Attitude Media. Card text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillies@gmail.com. So guys, thanks so much for watching. 4-5 this afternoon. We were 6-3 with a 2.69 ERA going against Gray. 2-3 with a 4.27 ERA. I'm Luke now. Let's go Phillies. See you guys.